says to suspended Ja Morant from the NBA. So what happened was Ja Morant, who's got a ridiculous contract, I'll find out how much it was, $231 million. It could get up to. It's currently at like 100 something. I don't know where that was when I put it in, but it could be up to $231 million. And I think it was only if he makes the All-Star game, which is ridiculously low expectation. They just want him to be the best player on the team, I guess, is what they expect.
I
He
think I
made
might
a
have an unpopular opinion on this Ja Morant thing. So I don't know. I don't know where most people are standing on this. I think.
Here, I'm going to
Anyways,
play this.
continue.
Shared on his Instagram Live early Saturday morning. In it, Morant is flashing what appears to be a gun inside a nightclub, holding it to the side of his face. Morant has issued an apology to his family, his teammates, his coaches, and fans, saying he does take full responsibility for his actions. The 23-year-old also says he's going to take some time to get help and learn better methods of dealing.
So obviously that's stupid to assume that he actually needs to take some time away to consider better methods. That's just so it'll all blow over, I think. So you've got this guy who's extremely rich, extremely talented, and
And
he thought it was
young.
and young, and he thought it was a good idea to brandish his pistol in a nightclub for it was a 2-second video. Even if you were doing that, why would you put it on social media? Is what I think. And then Stephen A. Smith said, basically, the NBA has so many resources and so much money is put into you. They do keep tabs on you. And he thought about how he covered Allen Iverson, and Allen Iverson went to jail when he was 17 because people said that he was involved in a riot where people threw chairs at people in a bowling alley, even though he's seen on camera walking away from it. Who knows? I wasn't there. But the point was that Allen Iverson used to hang out with some shady characters. And for a guy making as much money as he was, he basically had to come to a realization that people are going to judge him based off of the other people around him. Now, I'm not going to. I don't think a lot of people are going to. It's mainly because of advertisers, and advertisers don't want to be pumping money into a person, place, or thing that's brandishing pistols. But at the same time, I mean, they do it for video games and movies. So what I think is I'm literally making up and coming into the realization right now, Eric Butler, is that probably the reason they don't want him to be involved with guns is because they don't want to promote guns in the sense that they don't believe that people should have guns. So that's my new stance. I just came up with it right now. I haven't really thought it out, but that's where I'm standing right now, Eric. How about you?
That it's funny you said that because that's what I was saying, right? This is an establishment play, right? Because do you think for 1 second that Ja Morant is 23 years old. He's known for slam dunking on people, right? He's high flying, crazy athlete. Do you think the kids that follow Ja Morant are going to be like, I don't like him anymore because he flashed a gun in his video? No, they don't care. It's the establishment, it's the blob that doesn't want to. And I can understand that you don't want kids on this level. For some reason, you don't want kids to be swayed by this cool young guy with a gun, but you don't care if that happens when a rapper does it, right? It's the same market.
Exactly.
It's a kind of the same demo, as racist and mean as that might sound. The same kids that are following Ja Morant and want to buy a pair of Ja Morant shoes are the same kids that are listening to Cardi B and the same kids that are listening to Migos and Travis Scott and all that stuff, right? So it's okay when they do it, but it's not okay when Ja Morant does it for some reason, right? And it's the kids. I don't believe that there's any kid in the country who is looking at that and say, I don't like Ja Morant anymore, I'm gonna go burn his jersey. No, it's the people, the powers that be, that are saying, we don't want you to look. He's not from Tennessee. He plays for Tennessee. I don't know what the weapons laws are like there, but they don't want a popular guy to be seen with a gun because that's their agenda. It has nothing to do with the actual fans. They are telling the fans that you don't like this guy now because he has a gun. What they should be more angry about, if I'm honest, is him, and these photos that have leaked now of him, getting a lap dance or whatever. If anything, if you're going to be mad at anything, maybe it's that, right? Maybe you want him to be a little bit more. So you want him to be family friendly and not have a gun, but do you care
But they're
that
okay
he's
with that stuff too.
Would he be exact? So would they be suspending him for 5 games or 10 games or whatever it is if he were just at a strip club? No, because that would be fine, right? So it's just, even though that's just as unfamily friendly, so to speak. I don't know. The whole thing is a complete mess, and I'm just so jaded to the point where this almost makes me like him more, just because they're coming after him, right? And look, he's 23 years old. He did something silly, right? And you could say, "Yo, all right, my bad. Looking back at it, I probably shouldn't have done that. There's a lot of kids that look up to me. That was wrong, and I'll do better." But all this talk about like I'm gonna go get help and I take full responsibility, and the NBA is going to investigate. Investigate what, bro? You're just wasting time and money, and then Powerade pulls their deal. I don't know if that's in your article there, but I don't
No.
know if they pulled the deal, but they put him on some sort of suspension or whatever. Like, so he was selling Powerade. I know that's your favorite sports drink.
Bullshit.
And they pulled that off or they put him on some sort of leave, some sort of suspension. But it's all just so manipulative because you can have a rap video that is targeting the same demographic. In a 3-minute video, they will literally point weapons directly at the cameraman, give that man a record deal. And this guy does it. He's approximately the same age. He's 23 years old. He's got the dreadlocks. And how we know, bro, is as stereotypical as it might sound, we've known for decades. How many times have we seen a rapper, NBA player try to be a rapper? From Shaq to Kobe, Dame Lillard. I mean,
Ron
it's
Artest.
Ron Artest. It's one and the same. So if that man drops a mixtape, this story means nothing. But if he slam dunks on another basketball player, it deserves an investigation. It doesn't make any sense to
It's
me.
true. And the more that I think about it, the more I agree with you. So thank you. But the idea that this is not okay. On one hand, Ja Morant, you should know that you're going to get in trouble if you do something like this. And it's not worth risking, as I'm looking at it, $192 million. You're going to walk away with $125 million or something out of this, which is 5 generations worth of money at least, if not more, for nobody to work and have that money.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, they're saying this isn't family friendly. Okay, so if guns and strippers are not family friendly, why is Iggy Azalea a saint? Why are movies and rappers amazing with
Why is
guns
Cardi
in
B and
them?
Offset selling McDonald's meals?
Exactly. If you don't believe, why are drag queen story times with stripping guys in women's clothing okay? Why is that family friendly? All these things are supposed to be the greatest thing in the world and supposed to be celebrated until it comes to athletes. And maybe the reason, now I'm also talking myself into this, is because the people who watch sports are more conservative, but also at the same time, as I also explained to myself in real time, those are more people are more likely to support gun use. So it doesn't really make any sense. And I don't know who they're hiding from. If the NBA decided to be like, let's just not talk about it. Ja Morant had a gun in his thing. Let's just not talk about it. I don't understand why. Yes, people want transparency and things, but there is the fact that we're on a 2-day cycle here in the entire world where people are going to forget about it. So if you really care about this player's image, you really want to protect this image that he's got and the league's got, you say, we disagree with that. Ja Morant has apologized. And then everybody forgets about it.
Yep, moving
And
on.
moving on. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm forced to now think that this is all like, Powerade is friends with somebody or with a politician who told them, we can't have people making guns cool, even though we
Oh,
sort of do. We can't have it being made cool in regular life.
and there was another story I read where they actually, they're trying to lob on everything. So he got into a little fight with a young kid. He got into a fight with a 17-year-old. And then, I'm not joking, and I don't know how deep you really dived into, some of the things that this kid has done, or Ja Morant, I should say, but they tried to pin a finger gun that he did when one of his teammates like made a 3-pointer, or like one of his teammates made a big
Boy, the
play and
news
while he's
just
sitting
keeps
on the
getting more
bench.
peculiar with Ja Morant.
Go ahead.
And
Sorry.
no, and they tried to pin him doing a finger gun from the sideline as like a bat, like a as like a thing. And then he did a finger gun from the sideline, and he made light of the situation. And just last thing about Stephen A. I do think, as much as I think Stephen A. is a clown character, he makes some good points sometimes. Other times he's just a complete. We see that little compilation of him and was it Greeny? Oh, because I'm a black man, a white man. That little, as annoying as they get, he might have a point here with this FBI thing, right? Like, you would think, when I just mentioned how these markets and the target demographics for the NBA and this rap scene are so similar, and we see that the FBI, as corrupt and crooked as they are, they do have their ear to the street as far as rap is concerned, right? That's why you see YSL, YFN, all these takedowns. It does make total sense that they would also be having their ear to the street as far as some of these NBA guys are concerned, right? So maybe they're obviously not rapping about drugs and guns and stuff all the time, but it does make sense that they would be keeping a tab on them, not only because the NBA is this billion-dollar corporation, but because they, these high-profile people with loads of money are probably, as weird as it sounds, they might be more prone to doing bad things because they do have so much money, and they can pay to get rid of it, and they can pay to sweep things under the rug. So I don't know if it's 100% true, but it would make sense what Stephen A is saying, that they're going to keep tabs on you, not just because the NBA wants to maintain an image, but also because at 20 years old and millions of dollars, like, you're going to slip up, and whether it's, I don't know,
Mhm.
taxes, uh, you know,
You
taxes,
could
or
pull a Ray Lewis, you know.
I mean, look, I won't go that far, but you
Have
just
you
never
read that
know.
story, Eric?
What about Ray Lewis?
Yes.
Like the classic Ray, or am I thinking
Ray
Ray
Lewis.
Rice?
No,
Or
Ray Lewis may or may not have been involved in a killing.
yeah, yeah,
Read
yeah.
this. Yeah, okay.